The red warning lights flashed across the control room of New Busan Station. Minho Park looked up from his morning coffee as the alarm sound filled the air. He had been the station chief for 3 years now, and alarms were never good news this far from Earth. "What is it, Nari?" he called to the young woman at the communications desk. Nari Choi turned around, her face pale. "Sir, we have an unknown ship coming in fast. Too fast. It looks like it's going to crash." Minho put down his coffee and walked to the main screen. New Busan was a small mining station built on an asteroid. Only 12 humans lived here, far from any major space routes. They rarely saw other ships. "How big is it?" Minho asked. "Not very big. Maybe the size of our shuttle, but the design—" Nari looked confused. "I've never seen anything like it." The ship appeared on their screens. It was silver and smooth with strange curves that seemed to flow like water. It was definitely not human-made. "Where is it heading?" Minho asked. "Straight for the south mining field, impact in 2 minutes." Minho grabbed the station radio. "All crew, this is the chief. We have an emergency landing. Everyone to stations. Dr. Kim, get the medical bay ready. We might have survivors." Dr. Hana Kim's voice came back over the radio. "Understood, Chief. On my way." Minho watched the strange ship streak across the asteroid's dark sky. It hit the ground hard, sending up a cloud of dust and rocks. The impact shook the whole station. "June, take the rover and check it out," Minho ordered. "Take 2 others with you and be careful." Engineer June Lee nodded. "Yes, sir. Should we bring weapons?" Minho thought for a moment. "Bring them, but keep them hidden. We don't know what we're dealing with." 30 minutes later, June's voice crackled over the radio. "Chief, you need to hear this. We found the ship. It's badly damaged, but there's one survivor." "Human?" Minho asked. "No, sir. Definitely not human. She's asking for help." In perfect English. Minho felt his heart race. First contact with aliens. This was what every human in space dreamed about or feared. "Bring her in," Minho said. "Dr. Kim, prepare for an unknown species." An hour later, they carried the alien into the medical bay. Minho got his first look at her and stopped breathing, for a moment. She looked almost human, but different in ways that made his skin crawl. Her skin was pale blue-gray and her eyes were too large and completely black. Strange metal pieces were attached to her head and arms, blinking with weak lights. Her body was tall and thin, much thinner than any human. "She's hurt bad," Dr. Hana, Kim said as she scanned the alien with her medical tools. "Those metal things seem to be part of her body, some kind of technology built into her." The alien's eyes opened and looked directly at Minho. When she spoke, her voice was clear but cold. "You are the leader of this place," she said. It was not a question. "I am. My name is Minho Park. What's your name?" "I am called Yira. I am of the Villani people." Minho had heard that name before. The Villani were known throughout human space, but no human had ever met one. They were supposed to be very smart and very advanced. Most humans thought the Villani looked down on them. "The Villani," Minho said. "Your people think we're not very smart, don't they?" Yira's expression did not change. "That is correct. Humans are primitive. You think with emotions instead of logic. You make poor choices. You are chaotic." Dr. Hana Kim looked angry, but Minho held up his hand. "Then why are you talking to us? Why do you speak our language?" "Because I am dying," Yira said simply. "And you primitive humans are the only ones who can save me." Minho felt confused. "I don't understand." Yira tried to sit up, but the effort made her gasp with pain. The metal pieces on her body flickered faster. "My people are dying," she said, "all of us. A sickness that attacks our minds. It has killed millions of Villani. We cannot find a cure." "What does this have to do with us?" Dr. Hana Kim asked. Yira looked at her with those black eyes. "Your people are immune. Human brains work differently than ours. The sickness cannot touch you." Minho felt a chill run down his back. "How do you know this?" "We have been watching humans for many years, studying you, taking samples when we could. Your chaotic thinking, your emotions, they protect you from the sickness. You've been experimenting on humans? Minho's voice got angry. Only small samples. Hair, skin, blood. Taken without harm. We needed to understand why you survived when we could not. Nari Choi, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. What kind of help do you need? Yira closed her eyes for a moment. There is a way to cure the sickness, but it requires something from a human brain. Something living. Something given freely. What exactly? Dr. Hana Kim asked. A neural connection, a sharing of consciousness. Your human brain patterns mixed with mine for a short time. Minho felt his blood turn cold. That sounds dangerous. It is. The human might die, or lose their mind forever. But without it, I will die in hours, and my people will continue to die until there are none left. The room became very quiet. Everyone looked at Minho. Why should we help you? He asked. Your people think we're nothing. Primitive animals. Yira looked at him for a long time. Because, she said quietly, despite what my people believe, I have learned something about humans in my studies. You help others, even when they have not been kind to you. It is perhaps your greatest weakness, or perhaps your greatest strength. Minho stared at the dying alien woman. One choice could save her life, but it might cost him his own. Outside, unknown to any of them, Villani warships were already moving toward the small mining station. Minho stared at Yira as her words hung in the air. A neural connection, sharing consciousness. The idea made his stomach turn. Explain exactly what you mean, he said slowly. Yira's breathing was getting weaker. The metal pieces on her body were blinking slower now like a dying battery. In my ship there is a device, a neural bridge. It connects two minds together for a short time. Your human brain patterns would mix with mine. The chaotic way humans think would teach my neural pathways how to fight the sickness. Dr. Hana Kim stepped forward. That's insane. We know nothing about your brain structure. Connecting a human mind to an alien one could kill Minho instantly. Or drive him crazy forever, added Jun Lee from the doorway. He had just returned from examining the crashed ship. Yira nodded slowly. This is true. The risk is very high. But without it, I will die in 6 hours, maybe less. And if it works? Minho asked. If it works, I will be cured, and the knowledge of how to cure my people will be in my memory. I can save my entire race. Nari Choi had been quiet, working at her communication station in the corner. Now she looked up with worry on her face. Chief, we have a problem. I'm picking up signals from space. Multiple ships heading this way. Minho felt his heart sink. Villani ships? I think so. The signals are strange, but they're big, and they're moving fast. Yira tried to sit up again. My people. They come to find me. That's good, right? Dr. Hana Kim said. They can help you. Yira's black eyes filled with something that looked like fear. No, they will not help me. If they find me here speaking with humans, they will think, I am contaminated. They will kill me. And they will kill all of you to keep the secret. What secret? Minho demanded. That we need humans to survive. My people's pride will not allow them to admit this. They would rather die than ask for help. From a species they consider animals. Jun Lee walked closer to Yira's bed. I looked at your ship. The technology is amazing. Way beyond anything we have. If your people are so advanced, why can't they cure this sickness themselves? Yira closed her eyes. Because we made ourselves too perfect. For thousands of years, my people have made their minds more logical, more efficient. We removed all emotions, all chaotic thinking, all the messy parts of consciousness that we thought were useless. But those messy parts protect humans from your sickness, Minho said, beginning to understand. Yes, the sickness attacks the pathways that pure logic uses, but human brains are full of random connections, emotional responses, Intuitive leaps. The sickness cannot find a pattern to follow in human minds. Dr. Hana Kim was checking her medical scanners. How much time before your people arrive? Nari looked at her instruments. At their current speed, maybe 4 hours. And how long would this neural connection take? Minho asked. 1 hour to prepare. 1 hour for the connection itself. 1 hour to recover, Yira said. 3 hours total, Dr. Hana Kim said. That's cutting it very close. Minho walked to the window that looked out over the mining operation. This was supposed to be a simple job. Mine asteroids, send ore back to Earth, stay out of trouble. Now he was being asked to risk his life to save an alien who might be lying to him. How do we know you're telling the truth, he asked, without turning around. You don't, Yira said simply. But look at me. I am dying. My technology is failing. What reason would I have to lie? Jun Lee had been thinking. The equipment in your ship. If this neural bridge thing works, could we use it to help other humans learn from Villani technology? Yira looked surprised by the question. I had not considered this. Yes, theoretically, the knowledge transfer could work both ways. So humans could gain some of your logical thinking, and Villani could gain human emotional thinking, Minho said. Both species would become stronger, Yira agreed. Dr. Hana Kim shook her head. This is all theoretical. Minho, I have to advise against this. The medical risks are enormous. We don't even know if human and Villani brains are compatible. But if they're not compatible, then her whole plan won't work anyway, Nari pointed out. Minho turned back to face the group. What happens if I say, no? I die, Yira said. My people find my body here. They will be very angry that I was talking to humans. They will probably destroy this station and everyone on it to hide their shame. And if I say yes? You might die. But if you live, you will have saved my entire race. And perhaps started a new friendship between our peoples. Jun Lee suddenly looked excited. Chief, I've been thinking. If this works, we could learn their technology. Space travel, medicine, energy systems. Humans could advance by thousands of years. If it works, Dr. Hana Kim said firmly. If it doesn't, we lose our station chief and probably all get killed by angry aliens. The room fell silent except for the sound of Yira's labored breathing. Everyone was looking at Minho. He thought about his crew. 12 humans, far from home, depending on him to make the right choice. He thought about Earth, and all the humans who might benefit from Villani technology. He thought about Yira's people dying from a sickness that human chaos could cure. The neural bridge device, he said finally. Is it damaged? Jun Lee answered. Some damage, but I think I can fix it. It will take time, though. How much time? 2 hours. Maybe 3 if there are problems. Nari looked up from her station. The Villani ships just increased speed. They'll be here in 3.5 hours now. Minho made his decision. Jun, go. Fix that device. Dr. Kim, prepare whatever medical equipment you can. Nari, keep monitoring those ships. If they get here early, I want to know immediately. Dr. Hana Kim stared at him. Minho, you can't be serious. I am serious. We're going to try to save her. Why? Dr. Hana Kim demanded. Why risk everything for someone whose people hate us? Minho looked at Yira, who was watching him with those strange black eyes. Because she's right about humans. We help people, even when they haven't been kind to us, even when it's dangerous, even when it seems stupid. He paused. Maybe that makes us primitive, or maybe it makes us something better. Yira's eyes seemed to show something new, something that looked almost like hope. Time was running out. 2 hours later, Jun Lee wiped sweat from his forehead as he worked on the strange alien device. The neural bridge looked like a metal headband covered in tiny lights and wires. Half of it was cracked from the crash. How much longer? Minho asked. He was trying to stay calm, but his hands were shaking. Almost done, Jun said, connecting 2 wires together. But I have to warn you, Chief. I don't really understand how this thing works. I'm just fixing the obvious damage. Dr. Hana Kim was setting up human medical equipment around Yira's bed. Heart monitors, brain scanners, breathing machines. Everything she could think of to keep track of what happened during the procedure. This is still a terrible idea, she said for the 10th time. We're connecting human and alien brains with technology we don't understand. Nari called out from her station. Update on the ships. 1 hour and 40 minutes until they arrive. They're definitely Villani. I can see their weapon signatures now. Yira was getting weaker by the minute. The metal pieces on her body were barely glowing anymore. Tell me more about what will happen, Minho said as he sat beside her bed. Yira spoke slowly, each word taking effort. When our minds connect, you will see my memories. Feel my thoughts. I will see yours. For a short time, we will be one consciousness. That sounds terrifying. It should be. Your human emotions will flood into my logical mind. My structured thoughts will try to organize your chaotic thinking. The conflict between them should create new neural pathways in my brain, pathways that can resist the sickness. Dr. Hana Kim attached monitoring wires to Minho's head. And what happens to Minho's brain during all this? Unknown, Yira admitted. No human has ever done this before. Great, Minho muttered. June suddenly smiled. Got it. The device is working again. He held up the neural bridge. But I still don't know what it's going to do to you. Minho took a deep breath. Let's find out. Dr. Hana Kim helped him lie down on a second bed next to Yira. If your vital signs get too dangerous, I'm stopping this immediately. No, Minho said firmly. If we stop early, it might not work. Give us the full hour, no matter what. Minho. That's an order, Doctor. June carefully placed one half of the neural bridge on Minho's head and the other half on Yira's. The device immediately started glowing brighter. Ready? June asked. Minho looked at Yira. Her black eyes met his. Why are you doing this? She asked. Your own doctor says it might kill you. Minho thought about it. Because you were right. Humans do help others, even when it's dangerous, even when those others haven't been kind to us. I guess that's just who we are. Yira stared at him. I do not understand this behavior. You will, Minho said. If this works, you'll understand everything about being human. June activated the device. The world exploded into light and sound inside Minho's head. Suddenly, he was not just himself anymore. He was also Yira, experiencing her memories as if they were his own. He saw the Villani homeworld, beautiful and perfect, with gleaming cities that stretched to the sky. But the people were cold, emotionless, moving through their lives like machines. He felt Yira's childhood, learning to suppress all feelings, all illogical thoughts. He experienced her education, where creativity and intuition were trained out of her until only pure logic remained. Then came the sickness. Minho felt Yira's horror as she watched her people begin to die. Their perfect logical minds could not adapt to the disease. It spread through their neural pathways like fire through dry grass. Millions dead, cities empty. A proud race facing extinction because they had made themselves too perfect to survive. At the same time, Yira was experiencing Minho's memories. She felt his childhood on Earth, full of laughter and tears, joy and sadness, love and fear. She experienced his first day as station chief, nervous but determined to protect his crew. For the first time in her life, Yira felt real emotion. Fear when she crashed, hope when Minho agreed to help her, gratitude for his kindness. It was overwhelming and wonderful and terrifying all at once. The readings are going crazy, Dr. Hana Kim said, but her voice sounded far away to Minho. In the shared consciousness, Minho and Yira were learning from each other. Minho's chaotic human thinking was creating new pathways in Yira's brain, paths the sickness could not follow. But something unexpected was happening too. Yira's logical mind was organizing Minho's thoughts, making connections he had never seen before. He could suddenly understand complex problems that had always confused him. Math and science that had been difficult now seemed simple. This is incredible, Yira's voice said in his mind. I can feel happiness. Is this what happiness feels like? Yes, Minho answered. And sadness and anger and love, all the messy emotions your people threw away. We were wrong, Yira realized. These emotions, they don't make thinking weaker. They make it stronger, more flexible, more alive. The hours seemed to last forever and no time at all. When the device finally shut down automatically, both Minho and Yira lay still for several minutes. Are you okay? Dr. Hana Kim asked, checking their vital signs. Minho opened his eyes and sat up slowly. Everything felt different. His mind was clearer, more organized, but still human, still emotional. Yira sat up too, and for the first time since the eye crash, she smiled. It was a strange sight on her alien face, but somehow it looked right. How do you feel? Minho asked her. Alive, she said. For the first time in my life, I feel truly alive. The emotions, they're wonderful and terrible at the same time. Dr. Hana Kim was staring at her scanners. Yira, your readings are completely different. The sickness, it's gone. Your neural pathways have completely changed. The cure worked, Yira said. I can feel it. The new pathways you gave me, Minho. The sickness cannot touch them. But something else had happened during the connection. Minho could still sense Yira's thoughts faintly at the edge of his mind, and she could sense his. We're still connected, Yira said, touching her forehead. Not fully, but I can feel you there. I can feel you too, Minho said. Nari's voice suddenly cut through their wonder. Ships in visual range. The Villani fleet will be here in 20 minutes. Minho stood up, his new clarity helping him think. Fast. Can you contact them, Yira? Tell them what we discovered? Yira's expression darkened. They will not listen. They will see my new emotions as contamination. They will try to kill me and all of you to hide their shame. Then we need to be ready for a fight, Minho said. But as he looked at his small crew and their simple mining equipment, he wondered how 12 humans could possibly stand against an advanced alien fleet. The answer came from his new connection, with Yira's mind. Human creativity combined with Villani knowledge. Maybe that would be enough. The Villani warships appeared in space like silver daggers against the stars. 3 massive vessels, each 10 times larger than the tiny human mining station. Minho stood in the control room watching the ships approach. His mind felt different, now clearer and more organized thanks to his connection with Yira. But he was still human, still afraid. They're trying to communicate, Nari said from her station. Put them through, Minho ordered. The main screen flickered to life, showing a tall Villani in dark robes. Like Yira, he was pale and thin, but his black eyes were cold and angry. I am Commander Dacio of the Villani Defense Fleet, the alien said. You are holding one of our people. Return her immediately, and your deaths will be quick. Your people? Minho said. She crashed here, we saved her life. Impossible. Primitive humans cannot help advanced Villani. You have contaminated her somehow. This crime will not go unpunished. Yira walked into the control room. Her movements were different now, more fluid, more human-like. When she saw Commander Dacio on the screen, she stepped forward. Dacio, I am here by choice. These humans have cured me of the neural plague. The commander's expression did not change. You speak with emotion in your voice. You have been infected by human irrationality. You are no longer Villani. I am more Villani than I have ever been, Yira said, firmly. The humans showed me what we lost when we removed all feeling from our minds. They have the cure for our people's sickness. Lies. Human minds are chaotic and useless. They cannot cure what our greatest scientists could not. Minho felt anger, rising in his chest, but his new logical thinking helped him stay calm. Commander, your people are dying. Yira was dying too until we helped her. Don't let pride kill your entire race. You will return our property and prepare to die, Dacio said. We cannot allow knowledge of our weakness to spread. The screen went dark. They're charging weapons, Nari reported, her voice shaking. Junli ran into the control room. Chief, I've been working on something. The mining lasers, the ore crushers, the transport rockets, I think I can turn them into weapons. Against Villani warships? Dr. Hana Kim said. That's impossible. Maybe not, Minho said, his enhanced mind already seeing possibilities. Yira, how do Villani ships work? They rely on logical attack patterns, she explained. Efficient, predictable, mathematically perfect. But humans don't think logically, Minho realized. We think chaotically. We do unexpected things. Exactly. My people's strength has become their weakness. They cannot adapt to truly random behavior. June was already moving. I'll set up the mining equipment, but we need time. You'll have it, Minho promised. The first Villani attack came 5 minutes later. Energy beams struck the station's shields, designed to protect against asteroid impacts. The shields held, but barely. Return fire, Minho ordered. June had turned the mining lasers into weapons. They fired back at the Villani ships, but the alien vessels easily avoided the beams. Their computers can predict where we'll shoot, Yira explained. Every human attack is analyzed and countered instantly. Then we stop being predictable, Minho said. He grabbed the weapon controls from June. Everyone, take a different weapon system. Don't aim where you think you should. Aim where it feels right. It was the most illogical battle plan ever created. Dr. Hana Kim controlled the mining explosives, setting them off at random times. Nari used the communication array to send confusing signals. June fired ore-crushing rockets in patterns that made no mathematical sense. And it worked. The Villani ships, designed to counter logical attacks, could not predict what the humans would do next. Their perfect computers crashed trying to calculate truly random behavior. Impossible, Commander Desio's voice came over the radio. How are you doing this? We're thinking like humans, Minho replied, firing another mining laser in a completely illogical direction that somehow hit a Villani engine. But the human weapons were too weak to seriously damage the alien ships. After 10 minutes of chaotic fighting, the Villani regrouped and prepared for a final attack. They're charging their main weapons, Nari warned. Those will destroy the station completely. Yira suddenly stood up. I have an idea. Nari, can you broadcast on all Villani frequencies? Yes, but what good will that do? Trust me, broadcast everything. The neural connection, the cure. My memories of human emotions. Send it all to every Villani ship. They won't believe it, Minho said. They will when they feel what I felt, Yira said. When they experience human emotions through my memories. Nari worked frantically at her station. Broadcasting now, sending everything from the neural bridge device. On the Villani ships, something unexpected happened. The logical Villani minds were suddenly flooded with human memories. Joy, sadness, love, fear, hope, emotions they had forgotten existed. For the first time in thousands of years, Villani felt what it was like to be truly alive. Commander Desio's voice came over the radio again, but now it sounded different. Uncertain. Almost emotional. These feelings, he said, are they real? They're real, Yira answered. They're what we lost when we made ourselves perfect. And they're what will save us from the plague. A long silence followed. Then Deseo spoke again. If this is true, if humans truly have the cure, then we have been wrong about everything. Not wrong, Minho said. Just incomplete. We can help each other. Human creativity with Villani logic. Human emotion with Villani intelligence. You would share this cure? After we attacked you? Minho looked around at his crew. Dr. Hana Kim nodded. June smiled. Nari gave him thumbs up. That's what humans do, Minho said. We help, even when it's hard. Even when others haven't been kind to us. 6 months later, Minho stood in the command center of the first joint human Villani research station. Through the large windows, he could see ships from both species working together. The cure had worked better than anyone expected. Villani volunteers who underwent the neural connection with humans became healthier, more creative, more alive. And the humans gained enhanced logical thinking and problem-solving abilities. Dr. Hana Kim was now working with Villani medical experts, developing new treatments for diseases that had plagued both species. June Lee was learning Villani engineering, creating amazing new technologies. Nari Choi had become a translator, helping the two species understand each other. And Yira had become something new, the first Villani ambassador to humanity, bridging two worlds with her unique understanding of both. "The galaxy is changing," she said, standing beside Minho at the window. "For the better?" he asked. Yira smiled, an expression that now came naturally to her. "For the better. Your chaotic human thinking and our logical minds together. We can solve problems neither species could face alone." Minho nodded, feeling through their permanent connection the joy and hope she felt. Humanity's greatest weakness had become their greatest gift. And in saving the Villani, they had found something even more valuable than advanced technology. They had found true friendship among the stars. The universe was no longer a lonely place for either species.